This February, Juventus must contend with a Coppa Italia quarter-final, a two-legged Champions League playoff, as well as league games versus Inter, Como and Lazio. So it is imperative for Spalletti's Bianconeri to kick off this month in the right fashion. They visit the Tardini tonight to face a down-on-their-luck Parma, who haven't scored a Serie A goal in over 300 minutes. The Crociati will take inspiration, however, from their win versus Juve here at the back end of last season. It is Parma against Juventus in matchday 23 of Serie A in Relive. We're off and underway here at the Tardini. It's Juventus kicking us off from left to right in their classic strip of black and white. Ball launched towards Kefren Turam from Conceição. Juventus starting on the front foot, wanting to put this very vulnerable Parma defence under pressure. They shipped 4 last week in Bergamo, despite keeping clean sheets in the 2 games before that against Napoli and Genoa. Keeping goals out hasn't been a problem for Carlos Questo's side this season. It's scoring them down the other end. They've been so very reliant on Matteo Pellegrino up top. He scored 6 goals in Serie A for Parma this season, their second top scorer. Own goals. That's a statistic that tells you all you need to know. Jonathan, here goes Pierre Kalulu, marshalled all the way by Circati. It's a decent ball. First big chance of the game goes a-begging Chico Conceição. Fantastic ball over the top to find Kalulu. Top stop there from the Parma goalkeeper Edoardo Corvi. Here goes Circati. He finds Ondrejka. Skips away from Cambiaso. This is Oristagno. Going toe-to-toe with Lloyd Kelly. No foul, says Francesco Forno. Here come Juventus. Parma momentarily out of position in the centre of the park. Kenan Yildiz. That's a lovely ball to find Wes McKennie. McKennie looks up and spots Conceição. Ricocheted off the bar. He's had 2 huge chances in the first 6 minutes, Chico Conceição, and he's taken neither of them. The woodwork coming to Parma's aid. Now then, they're going down the other end here, the Circati. Wonderful pace and energy to this game early on. Oristagno. Blocked by Kelly. We'll talk about an end-to-end start. Wonderful entertainment so far. Here goes Valeri. Low ball in, easy for Locatelli. Juventus so unlucky not to be ahead. Where's McKennie, who's been scoring the goals of late, trying to put it on a plate for Conceição. Here's McKennie once more. Great relationship that he's got, and understanding, always seeing where Jonathan David is. McKennie whips it towards Conceição. Now Kalulu keeping it alive. David on the spin, nice turn. Good idea from Jonathan David. He spotted the run of Wes McKennie. Nicolucci Caviglia with the corner kick towards that back post, and it's well away by Kenan Yildiz. Conceição goes down. Referee not interested. Kenan Yildiz can pick up the loose ball. Juve flooding forward here. McKennie and David in the centre. Cambiaso on the outside. Here is Andrea Cambiaso. Put out behind from Del Prato for another Juve corner. Corner from the far side. Bremer! A bullet header from the Brazilian. Juve have threatened early on here at the Tardini, and it's an early goal for the Bianconeri. On target at home against Cremonese. He's netted away from home this time at Parma, and it is Juve who lead 1-0. No one picking up Bremer. And that's the damage that he can inflict when given the chance. Always a threat from set pieces. Delightful ball swung in by Conceição. Corvi stayed at home. And that's the breakthrough that Luciano Spalletti wanted early on. Carlos Questo will be asking questions of his defence, allowing both Khéphren Thuram and Bremer Bernabé. This is Nicolucci Caviglia now. Valeri. Nice takedown from Oristagno. Parma need to find a way to release him into the channels. He's got pace to burn, Oristagno. He'll fancy his chances taking on Cambiaso, who's certainly provided a lot of attacking threats this season for Juventus, but has been a little bit suspect when defending. It's a common theme that Juventus fans bring up whenever you chat to them. They do like Cambiaso in a back five, but in a back four, he can be gotten at. McKennie. Here is Cambiaso now. Now Thuram. The midfield maestro for Juve. He feeds Jonathan David. Things could get worse here for Parma. What a challenge that is from Del Prato. It was on a plate for Chico Conceição. But that vital touch from Parma's skipper, taking it away from the Portuguese. Pellegrino. Bernabé. That's a nice ball to find Valeri. Now then, for the first time in the match, Juventus' defence is out of position. And Valeri almost caught Di Gregorio off guard. First save of the match for the ex-Monza goalkeeper, and he pushes it behind competently. Well, that's where Parma will be able to attack Juventus in transition, getting forward quickly. They've got the pace to hurt the Bianconeri, particularly on the flanks with the likes of Valeri, Oristagno. Beautiful ball to find David. This is Kalulu. Great pace shown from Kalulu. He dinks it towards McKennie. A sumptuous finish from the American. What a season he's having under Luciano Spalletti. Full of goals at the moment, Wes McKennie. Large celebrations here from the Juventus players. They make it 2-0. Pierre Kalulu with the assist. Well, what's becoming a trademark here for these Juventus players, they practice these celebrations on the training ground. And here's another one. Locatelli with the initial ball. Lovely layoff from Jonathan David. But how about this for an assist from Kalulu? Had the pace to get away from his man, dinked it into a dangerous area, and Wes McKennie with the acrobatic finish. Well, it's all smiles for the Bianconeri at the moment. Players chipping in with goals from all over the pitch, and Wes McKennie, another one of those who was on target against Cremonese, similarly to Bremer. Now Yildiz. Breezing past Bernabé, Thuram, McKennie, lovely play. Keita driving out from the back. He finds Ondrejka, that's a nice ball. Foot race between Valeri and Conceição. Valeri's got the strength to shield off the Portuguese. Kalulu's come back to help out his number 7. Great play from Juventus there in defence. It's a brief moment. Although it's a risky ball across the face of goal and struck venomously by Oristagno. Di Gregorio with another big save. He denied Valeri earlier on. This time it's Oristagno who's quelled by Juventus' goalkeeper. Conceição. Is there time for Juventus to muster up one last attack in this first half? Jonathan David. Onto Kenan Yildiz, 15 seconds to play. Yildiz giving Troilo a really hard time here. Yildiz! Wide of the mark. That would have capped off a perfect first half for Juventus. The half-time whistle goes here at the Ennio Tardini. A first half dominated by the Bianconeri. They went ahead through that man, Bremer, after a fantastic corner kick from Chico Conceição. Wes McKennie, who's been full of goals at the minute, added another one to his tally for the season after an acrobatic effort. Michele Di Gregorio keeping out Oristagno and Valeri. Juventus leading by 2-0 and very much well worth their lead. Change that we expected. Gaetano Oristagno has made way, and it is Sasha Brichki, the 19-year-old Swiss under-21 international, who comes on the right-hand side for the Crociati. Rather a surprise to see Kenan Yildiz making way for Fabio Miretti, considering that Chico Conceição was booked in the first half, but it is the Turkish number 10 who makes way, and Miretti coming on. More of a conservative change there from Spalletti. Perhaps he feels that the 2 goals are going to be enough, and he wants to bolster things up in the centre of the park. Miretti very much a central midfielder rather than an attacking midfielder like Yildiz. It's Parma who kick us off in this second half, and it's Parma who have work to do. 2 goals down following those goals from Bremer and McKennie in the first half. Juventus in pole position to leapfrog Roma into 4th spot in Serie A. Ondrejka. Lovely play from Ondrejka. This is Circati. Cambiaso into his own net. One of the most comical own goals you'll see all season. Well, the Parma attackers can't seem to be scoring themselves, so they're relying on the opposition defenders to do so. Alessandro Circati up from the back, asking the question. And Cambiaso, who's been criticised this season by large sections of the Juve faithful for his defending capabilities, has diverted the ball into his own net. Locatelli. Short to Miretti. This is Bremer. McKennie off the frame of the goal once again, and eventually home. The Juve players have gone over to congratulate Bremer. The Bianconeri re-establish that 2-goal advantage. It was Jonathan David who headed towards the goal after the ball had ricocheted off the bar and Bremer was on hand. He didn't look entirely convinced that he was in an onside position. From that angle you can see that he was. And the Brazilian, who doesn't score too many, has got a brace here in Emilia-Romagna. The goal stands. Bremer has his brace, a Brazilian brace. Juve re-established the 2-goal advantage instantaneously. McKennie. Conceição, player on the pitch who's seen the most of the ball in the last 5 minutes or so. Conceição, pushed away by Corvi, into the path of David. Another player who is loving life under Spalletti at Juventus, Jonathan David. He opened the scoring against Napoli at the Allianz Stadium last week, and he adds Juventus's 4th here. It's been all Juve over the last 10 minutes. They flick the switch, and they get that goal to really put Parma to bed. Corvi will not be happy with the way he parried the ball into the path of David. Conceição has looked dangerous in this second half. Hasn't found the net. Provided the assist for Bremer in the first half, and this was all his doing, forcing the save from Corvi. Ball in from Esteves, not a bad one. Pellegrino with the last touch. It was Pellegrino on target in the win against Juve in this fixture last season. Here's Keita. 11 minutes to go at the Tardini. Parma staring down the barrel at another defeat. Surely they're just playing for pride now, Carlos Questo's side. Juve defending deep, defending in numbers. This is Brichki. Brichki once again, bursting into the area. Brichki, blocked by Lloyd Kelly. That's the attacking threat that Sasha Brichki can give to this Parma side. Quick off the mark, direct. Kostic, he scored from this range against Napoli last week. Fancied making it 2-2. Cabal. Kalulu swings it in towards Openda. Big chance for the Belgian there. Corvi came to claim, got nowhere near the ball. Elfedge. This is Esteves. Now Valeri. Valeri delivers, flick towards goal, and there's Pellegrino at the back post. On target with his head in this fixture last season, Matteo Pellegrino. Openda all on his own, the flag stays down. Openda to make it 5. He does. It's been a tough start for Lois Openda in a Juve shirt, but he's come on here and shown his quality. Esteves it was, keeping onside Luis Openda. That's a cracking finish. Finally, we're seeing the quality that we saw.
A seguito di revisione, il numero il gioco pertanto la decisione è rete annullata.
Well, the goal is chalked off. Pellegrino down the other end. Pellegrino. Smart stop from Di Gregorio. Focused right until the final whistle. A hugely satisfying victory for Spalletti's side. They knew that the mauling versus Napoli last weekend would have counted for little if they were to drop points here. But the Bianconeri have produced an accomplished and professional display, and they take back 3 points to Turin. It's more misery for Parma, who are slowly getting sucked into the relegation dogfight. Goals in either half from Bremer. McKennie with a lovely taken finish. Jonathan David on the score sheet too. Cambiaso scored a rather comical own goal, which was Parma's only one of the evening. It's Juve who prevail at the Tardini. Final score, Parma 1, Juventus 4.